Welcome to number 3 of Studio DBA podcast, interviewing musicians that are playing the 100 Man Hall. Today we have Jason Ricci, who is here with his band, Jason Ricci and the Bad Kind, and he invited his special guest, Johnny Sansone, to come over and play. And we witnessed a unbelievable show. A show that, let me just say, should have been sold out. You know, there are people walking around in town right now, and they have no idea what just happened here. Do you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And that's why we're doing these interviews. We want to talk to musicians about their lives. I think a lot of people look at musicians on stage when y'all start playing, and they think, wow, that's the life. Look at them, you know, so sexy, so rock star-ish. And then you go home and you practice all the time to come out and give us like 30 minutes, 2 hours of joy, right? So you were saying earlier, Jason, that y'all just recorded an album and that there was a shift in the feeling of this album that was different. Yeah. So I was interested in talking to you about that. And Johnny, you're my old neighbor. You're not, I'm going to take old out of there and say you used to be my neighbor. And now you've been over here, and it's just great to have you on stage. But why don't you tell us about what you've been doing? Are you touring right now? I know that last year when I saw you, just gotten back from Italy. So what's going on with you now?
Yeah, I'm getting caught up. I was just I was in France for a tour, and I got back from that in time for French Quarter Festival, and then was doing some studio work and working around town, and there was Jazz Fest. And then after Jazz Fest, I went straight up to Memphis for the Blues Music Awards, where I got a nomination for Best Male Contemporary Blues Artist.
Wow, and, fantastic.
And then we came back from that, and I've been doing a lot of solo work and little things here and there and trying to help other people. And I've been very busy and enjoying every second of it.
Good.
And I'm really honored to be here.
Oh, well, thank you. We're honored to have you always. Fantastic. So is there a summer lull coming up or not necessarily?
Yeah, I've got 2 trips to Europe again this summer. We usually try to work the festival circuit, but this year it slowed down for us. We were kind of in between management and stuff, so we got left in between the gaps of different festivals that book way ahead in advance, and Europe was a place that I could always go and I can always work, so decided to stay there for a little while.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's good. Yeah. Where in Europe?
The first trip will be to Italy. I'll fly into Germany, and then Italy, Austria, and then I'll come back for a little bit, and then go back for Holland, France, Germany again.
Awesome. That sounds great. So anything else coming up this year in terms of recording or anything like that?
I have so many different projects that I'm trying to decipher what happens next, because they're all different directions, and I don't know which one. I'm kind of caught with a whole lot of songwriting that I've been holding back, a lot of songs and a lot of complete ideas that are different than things I've already done.
Wow.
But they all seem to need a certain amount of different production qualities. So I have to sort all that out.
Okay.
But I think what's going to happen for me, which I'm really excited about, is once I get rolling, I think I'm going to try to do a few different recordings at the same time with different people and different sounds.
Oh, that's cool.
So it'd be like a kind of a songwriter record about South Louisiana, which I've written a lot of stuff in the past, and I got a whole bunch. And then we had a project of a kind of a Gulf Coast rock and roll thing, which would be like Texas, Louisiana border music,
Awesome.
which was really like Lazy Lester and guys like that I was, lucky enough to be hanging around when they were when they're still alive, and work with some Texas guys on that. And then I had a project in the works with some of the guys from Galactic, and which would be more of something a little more funky. So
Wow. Yeah, you're all
I'm
over
not sure.
the place.
I don't want to tell you it's all going to happen at once, but in my head, it's all there.
Good. Well, we can't wait till it comes out of your head and onto the whatever that you call the recording these days, if it's all digital or whatever. Well, listen, we have this Studio DBA. We can pull up to your house. You can do some recordings in here.
Oh, that sounds.
You can also always remember the hall. It has a very live sound, very different from in here. So you can definitely make use of that as well.
That would be great.
Even like a live show, that'd be
I
cool.
think that would be fantastic.
But,
Very special.
So listen, Johnny, I know you got another gig, so I want to let you go so you can get out of the tin can, the Studio
2 gigs
DBA.
in one day, yeah.
2 gigs in one day. We're very, very happy that you came and did this one. It's always good to see you, and stay in touch. I know you're going to be in Europe, but we're here, and you're close.
I'm going to be in and out all summer, so if something comes up, let me know. I'll run back.
Good. Sounds great. Sounds great.
Yeah, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Love you, big bro.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right. Beautiful
You
show.
gotta go
Thank you.
right now.
I'll take the kiss.
I don't want to run
Thank you.
right in the middle of an interview.
Dude, you gotta go.
But thank you.
He's got to
Hey,
eat.
thank you.
He's
Thanks
got
for
to
doing that.
He's got to eat and get into his gig. But thank you, honey. It was very good.
Call me about that pizza, bro.
Pizza.
He cooks pizza.
Oh wow.
He has his own brick oven.
Wow. Is that what you learned when you went on your Italy trip, or you've been doing that?
Actually, I spent a lot of time going to different pizza places to make sure that mine is the best.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, Johnny. All right, you. Okay, Jason, I want to talk to you because earlier when we were talking about that album that you were making, you were also talking about a lot of things that you've gone through in life, just with John passing and sort of coming to terms with that grief and sort of rolling through what all of that was and all those feelings. And then going in and making this album, you said there was a shift in this album compared to the last recordings that you've made.
Yeah, a little
So
bit.
what was it? What was going on with you?
It's more of a band
Uh-huh.
and writing as a group.
Uh-huh.
Brent came in and wrote with Kate and I, and the songs that Kate came up with were real emotional.
Yes,
they're about
definitely.
surviving me in addiction.
Uh-huh.
That last one we played that called Long Twisted Night.
Uh-huh.
That's her take on what it's like to.
Was it the one, What Have I Done to You?
Yep.
That was amazing.
Isn't that pretty?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Mean,
Haunting and beautiful. Wow.
Yeah, you can tell. You can tell she's singing it because
Yeah.
from a place of somebody that's been truly hurt.
Right. Sure.
And it's kind of weird playing harmonica behind it, knowing you're the one who caused that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Everybody I know who writes, who sings, they do it from their own pain, right?
Right.
And that's the beauty of it. That's your silver lining, right?
And it's funny because I've been not in pain.
That's wonderful. Huh?
I mean, I'm not gonna say
because you're free.
Not, but I'm not causing my own anymore
Right.
as much.
Yeah. Well, I hear you. No, I mean, I think that sobriety does that to you. It does.
I don't
frees
know.
you. Huh?
I was sober once 12 years,
But
my motive was messed up.
Okay.
I was staying sober for the job,
Okay.
for music,
Okay.
and for not just for music, but for success.
Right. Right.
And then the funny thing happened is kind of when I got that,
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh man, it's like either I want more of it,
Yeah.
or it wasn't enough,
Yeah.
or it wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
Right.
And then after 12 years, I was back smoking crack and shooting dope, and
Yeah.
then I got sober again.
Uh-huh.
Stayed sober for 4 years. I did that to stay out of jail, stay out of prison,
Yeah.
stay with Kate,
Right.
and then as soon as she sort of let me down,
Uh-huh.
and I kind of got off probation, got out of the claws of the DOC,
Right.
I was back out there on the streets,
Okay.
And this time, I finally just had enough of it.
Well, there does come a time. I hear this because I told you that I'm going through this with my son.
Yeah.
And I quit drinking a couple of years ago, basically to be present for him.
Yeah.
Because he needed
Yeah,
me to
yeah.
be fully there.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've been told in the world of sobriety is that there comes a time where you cross over. Like, you know what, there's not like you're going to relapse. Like you have relapsed or you've done, but there comes a time when something happens inside of you.
I think there comes that time, but I think for some of us that time could come again if we're not diligent.
Yeah.
You know what I
well,
mean?
yeah, definitely.
And that means a lot of
Yeah.
things. So it's like, you know, like it wasn't just taking away the drugs. There's a whole mess of other stuff I had to take away too.
Right.
Stuff I was doing every day, and really a lot of stuff I was not doing. You know,
Like what? Like what?
praying and
Okay,
meditating
right,
and
so,
apologizing immediately when
yes,
I'm wrong.
accountability.
You know what I mean? Right,
yes,
right.
very
Trying
good.
to just be positive,
Right,
and, you know,
right.
and listening better to other people.
Well, what I found this is what I found with my son. It's that feeling big feelings. It's almost like Mike Falgo has joined us here, Alligator Mike. It's almost as if we're scared as a people to feel these big feelings that come on. Like we don't have a container for it.
Right.
And so particularly you put that in a little kid.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
And so you want to numb it, make it go away.
Right.
So as we were talking about John and his death and
Yeah.
the aftermath of that, you're feeling all those feelings.
Yep.
You know that was different than if you had been using while you were doing it.
Yeah, I mean, it was different for me than it even was for the guys who didn't have a problem with alcohol or drugs. It was different, you know.
Yeah.
And I was grateful because I loved him so much.
Right. I know
I want
that.
to feel it.
I know.
I want to really mourn.
He was
you know
worth
what I
your
mean? Like,
grief, right?
yeah, and you know we
Yes.
still are, but you know,
Yeah.
So you know, sometimes you wish you didn't have to, but
Yeah.
you know,
but
it's
even when Kate was singing her song that she wrote to him,
Yep.
it was a joyful song.
it is,
You
it
know,
is, it
and
is.
so even though it's a lament, it was
Yep.
joyful.
Yep, it was, and he was a joyful cat, you know.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah.
What do you think about Alligator Mike? Should we?
I love Mike. Man, he took care of me last night. You know, because we're both fans of UFC. You know, the mixed
Even though
martial arts.
we took a heck of a hit, dude.
Man, it was
We went from
I'm
such
so
a-
emotionally hungover
From a
today.
crescendo to a crash when our
We
guy
love
lost.
the same
but
fighter, and he lost twice in a row.
Oh, I'm sorry.
we had a great evening, though.
Good.
We had a
We
great evening.
did have a great
and,
evening.
We shared some great cigars and some great stories and so a lot of music
There'll be
industry
many
talk.
more.
And,
Well, and,
yeah, absolutely.
And Alligator Mike's the one who introduced me to you. And so when did you meet Jason?
So, man, that was 2010 or 11.
2010.
We had a mutual friend,
Yeah.
Ruben Williams,
Okay,
and
yeah.
we met. But the second T-ball we ever did, the first time we ever made shirts and did anything other than the first year was kind of a party in my parents' backyard. The next one was, all right, let's see if we can make this a thing. And Jason was one of the four different bands that were there.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's 15 years. Can you believe that? Unbelievable how time flies when you're having fun, right?
Yep.
So, well, listen.
That's when I met Mike. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, I'm glad he introduced you to us, and we love you, and we love when you're here. I mean, as I said, that should have been a sold out show. It's just amazing to me that we had this talent on stage today, and so
Right. But
we had a
that's the
good
thing.
crowd. But I mean, everybody there was glad to be there.
Look,
but I wish we could have
if it
had
was-
more people.
If it was easy to throw a party and make money, everybody would do it.
No,
It's
yeah.
tough.
Nobody's doing
You
that.
never know. I mean, it could be something as simple as the college World Series of baseball or something like
Yeah.
that.
A
that takes
blueberry
people-
festival.
Right.
And it could be anything that
Exactly.
takes in,
Yeah.
you know, it's not like you can do this and say, oh, yeah, let's have a party next weekend. You got to do this 6 months in advance or 4 months in advance
Yeah.
or whatever. And you just got to cross your fingers and hope it works. But we know this. Everybody that was there had a great time.
Absolutely. This guy
And
came
we
up to
know
me.
that there will be some future get-togethers between the Dangermond Hall and
Yeah.
Jason Ricci.
Well,
that's for sure.
this guy walked up to me and said, I just moved here 10 months ago. And he said, I'm watching this and it's so incredible. I just can't even believe what I'm seeing, you know? So
I wonder where he moved from.
I don't know. I didn't ask him
Yeah.
because I was listening to you. So I was kind of like, eh.
Penoria, Illinois.
Did he?
Peoria.
Yeah.
You
There's
know
no
that he just made
Penoria.
that up. He just made that. Didn't even get the name right. He said Penoria.
Peoria.
Y'all never been there?
There's a Cajun word for Peoria.
Y'all never been there?
Peoria.
They make good gumbo.
Oh,
They do
Lord,
not.
today. Okay, come on. Listen, Jason, thank you so much. And
pleasure.
we're
My
so
pleasure.
happy you're here. And
Yeah.
Jason's got to eat. And Alligator Mike did the food today. We're so happy. Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank
It's
you.
absolutely my pleasure. The first time we played here, you know, Sansone had us.
Yes. Oh,
and my wife just went off on me like every week or so. Like, man, you called the 100-man hall yet? 100-man hall yet? Get the 100-man hall. 100-man.
Yeah.
And finally, I was like, I started texting my manager, going, please,
Get the
man,
100
let her get her
please
off
do,
of me. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, I'm gonna have to give her a big hug.
Yeah.
And listen, the Tin Shed is here for y'all. If y'all need
Mike told me.
a break,
Mike told me,
right?
yeah.
Yes,
Well,
anytime.
I'm gonna come up. Mike's got an outdoor area with
It's a
like a
hang.
TV and he's got
yeah.
cigars
he's
and
got
everything.
that kind of stuff. But I've got like R&R here.
Right, but I can do both. It's only like a block
You can
that
walk
way.
over
Yeah.
there
I
and
didn't,
get
I
off
didn't
there.
If you jump a
realize it was
fence, you
only
can
a
be there,
block.
like,
When I asked him to drive me home, I would have walked.
Right, exactly.
I didn't realize it was just a block. I felt bad asking.
It's a block.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
thank you. Signing off. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Wow. Turn the AC on.
Yeah, we're gonna pack up all that stuff.
Said I got to go, and I think you know